Hey everybody, it's TheNaterater here, back with another Lego creation for you guys. This is the Avro 621 Tutor biplane. Now, this is a pretty cool biplane. It's been a lot of work putting it together, but I'm really like how it turned out. I really like a lot of the small details that I've incorporated into this one. Now, this biplane in particular, it's based off of a real biplane, the Avro 621 Tutor, which from what I've read is a biplane that is from the post-World War I era. And it was employed by the Royal Air Force, which you can see their insignia here, and then on the tail they've got their colors. But I don't believe that it was really used much for combat or anything. It was more of a trainer for pilot training. So you've got a double seater there. You can see the dual windscreens, one in front and one in back. And then you've got your trainer here and his trainee. Just a nice little touch with their flight suits on. I like how they came together as minifigures. Yeah, so let's go ahead and break down this model a little bit for you guys. So, I found some material online that, like some blueprints and different pictures of this, and some that indicated the length as well as the wingspan of this aircraft. And so I've actually made it so that one stud is equal to 1 foot of the real aircraft. And with that measurement system, that makes minifigures just a little bit under 6 feet tall. As you can see here, this is a 6 stud tile, and it's just a little bit taller than a minifigure with headgear. So I think that's a pretty good approximation. Minifigures are a little bit weirdly proportioned, especially with their width. But I like the 1 foot is equal to 1 stud system. That's kind of what I try to do with my scaled models. So some of the more tricky parts to get right for this airplane, we'll give you a little side shot here just to see, and then in the back. I would say that the trickiest thing to get right on this airplane were, first off, the landing gear. So the landing gear up front, as you see, is not attached to each other, so it's just 2 wheels, and the real aircraft has bars that come out and go from the center of the aircraft to the wheel, and both in the front and the back. And then they also have one in the middle, so it's that kind of triangle there that I've been able to capture pretty well. So you can see it's taken some interesting building techniques here. So we'll go ahead and actually take that landing gear off just to get a little glimpse into what's going on here. So I've got some bars that are attached to clips to the main body, and then these that are kind of giving the hint that they are going down and attaching to that wheel are actually on clips themselves that are free to rotate, and then I just have them go up and they press against the body and stop right there. And so that little piece was the most difficult piece here on the entire aircraft to get right. It took a lot of iterating to get that right. And then I like the way the back wheel also turned out, so that's rolls pretty decently smoothly. You can kind of see it roll along here. The front tires roll, and then the back tire is really fixed, but it works out pretty well. Another really difficult thing was to get the bottom wing attached to the top wing. In real life, they use some cables and some very thin strips, and so it was important for me to kind of get some approximation of that. And I think I turned out getting something pretty decent. So there's an attachment point here that goes up to the top wing, and then also here in the front that attaches to the fuselage of the airplane, the main body, to the top wing. And it keeps it pretty sturdy. It's not the most sturdy, but you can pick it up by the top wing and it does okay. It's a little flimsier, but the way that it turned out, especially with these kind of cross bracing, which it's only an indication of cross bracing as it actually doesn't cross brace in the model, but that was something I really tried to get in there as it's pretty prominent on the actual aircraft, and I think it did turn out pretty well. Another thing that I like about this aircraft is these actual Lego stickers, and these are from the Pharaoh's Quest line. They came in a biplane set that was from the Pharaoh's Quest line, and they're just perfect for the plane. There's a few different color schemes that this plane uses, and I might try my hand at a few of them. There's one that's pretty much entirely yellow, so I might try that. And then there's one that has a little more coloration. It's got some dark green along the body, and then the top wing is red, white, and blue for the Royal Air Force's insignia, their colors. So I might, in the future, try my hand at that. I actually did make a model of this exact aircraft probably 8 years ago or so, and it did not turn out quite as well as this. Wasn't too happy with how that model turned out, but I really love the way that this next iteration has turned out. We'll get you a little view of the cockpits here, if we can. So each cockpit has a control panel in there that allows the pilots to fly. Again, one's the trainer and one's the trainee. So to put the pilots in, they both do fit in here. We'll take just the top wing off, like so, and we'll put the trainer, I assume he goes in the front, though I'm not really sure. Didn't look that hard. Bottom wheel, so we put him in the front. You do have to kind of angle their arms upward a bit, but they slot in there. And then we'll put the second pilot in the back. And again, you do have to kind of put their arms up a little higher than you'd like, just to get them to be able to fit in there with the proportions that they have. And then now that they're seated in there, just go ahead and put this top piece back on. Again, this is one of the trickier parts here, is this assembly of the wings, but you can see not too bad, and they are ready to go. The propeller here is able to spin, which is a lot of fun. Initially I had designed both the propeller and the landing gear so that they were not able to spin, but my sister-in-law really got on me for that. She wanted to see them spin, so I did my best, and they are able to spin now, so I think that turned out pretty well. And going around to the back, the assembly for the tail here, also kind of fun. We'll see if we can pop this guy off here. So just getting the coloration through here and the shaping on the tail, that was a pretty fun part, and I really like the way that that turned out. Some of the new pieces that LEGO has come out have been pretty important for the build. Just these little cutouts in the wings, both the top wing and the bottom wing, and then also in the tail. There's a couple cutouts there, and that new 1x2 like wedge plate is very important for getting that shape correct. So yeah, really happy with the way this one turned out. If you guys are interested in instructions, go ahead and comment down below. I think I might work up instructions for this one. I really like the way that it turned out, and I'm excited to have a nice biplane to sit on my shelf.